Over the years, the issue of trafficking has become more complex and complicated, where now there is a nexus between migration and trafficking. Earlier, you could see the case of trafficking very easily, but now they use migration as a tool for people to be trafficked. Migration over the years have increased immensely because of the impact of conflict as well, because there were no infrastructure, there was no employment, and the male members of the family had to migrate because of the security reason.
It is believed that more women are trafficked to other countries than men, mainly for the sex industry. But lately, there has been an increase in the trafficking of men as well. What are the reasons behind it?
Over the years, the male who have been trafficked is basically they don't have information about migration, they don't have any orientation about where they are going, what kind of job they are doing. Third of all, there is no employment packages for them which can provide them or equip them with certain skills, such as language is a big barrier. They cannot speak in English, and that's why they tend to get lost in the airport. Sometimes they cannot negotiate.
An increasing number of Nepalese are migrating to India and the Gulf countries apparently in search of work, as you said. But can the problem of migration be tackled without addressing the fundamental economic problems? What remedies do you suggest?
There is a difference between migrating to India and migrating to the Gulf countries. Because if you want to migrate to India, for Nepali people, you don't need a visa. It's a cross-border migration and people can migrate, go to India, work and come back. But then for Gulf countries, you would need certain visa. You need to have a sticker on your passport that would allow you to enter the Gulf countries. Now, the reason why people have migrated is because of the political situation, as I mentioned earlier, but also people do not have their rights in terms of right to housing, right to food, right to employment. And these factors have forced people to actually migrate to other countries.
Has there been any improvement in the rights situation in Nepal in recent years, in particular women's rights? Are the Nepalese authorities doing something about it?
Since 2006, when there was a comprehensive peace agreement between the political parties, especially the Maoists and the 7 political parties, it gave hope to a lot of women that finally their rights can be asserted, there will be social justice. And I'm not saying that the Nepal government hasn't done much, but there's some room for recommendations as well. When Prachanda became the Prime Minister, he was the first person to say that there should be an end to dowry violence. There should be an end to caste-based discrimination. When the UML government came into power, they launched the 2010 year as a year against gender violence. They also amended the domestic violence law. A lot of progressive steps have been taken. However, it's only lip service. It has not been implemented effectively so that women can actually get justice.
And would you suggest the international community and the global rights organizations to do something in this regard?
The international organizations or the United Nations, they're already doing a lot for Nepal. But what my request to the international organizations would be to monitor the situation of the women's rights in Nepal and to lobby and advocacy for the women in Nepal at different levels, and also to pressurize the government of Nepal to oblige by the international instruments that the government has ratified and promised